Guys, also, I've crippled pronunciation, so there's some words today that I'm going to say that maybe you can help me with.
Maybe. Bold of you to assume that I can pronounce them as well.
Well, we can try.
Yeah.
So today we're going to talk about flat Earth.
Oh, nice.
And this might be more than one episode because the history's quite extensive, and then it shoots off into a couple of different veins currently. So the history might take all of today's episode, and then next week we might shoot off into, God, what is it called? Zetetic astronomy?
I don't even know what that is.
I know. I'm going to talk about it today, hopefully, and then a little bit, and then we'll go more into it next week, and then the salt mines of Romania on the following week.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
So
I'm excited for that one.
I know. That'll be cool.
That's what caused all of this.
That is what caused all of this.
Yeah. That was some of the craziest shit I ever heard. Anyway.
So as we know, I don't know if you were taught as a kid that Christopher Columbus thought that the Earth was flat, which is why he really had to, or he didn't think so, but everyone else did, which is why he really had to convince them for this voyage.
Yeah, I thought that the reason that he was going is because he was trying to find a passage to India.
That is the actual reason. Nobody thought the Earth was flat.
Yeah, no, like the Egyptians knew the Earth was round in,
yes.
I don't know.
So let's talk about this.
A million billion BC or whatever. They use it was like a Greek dude who went down there, like Dodecahedron or some sort of shit. I don't even remember his name, but he used a stick. And you just go to two different cities and you wait till summer solstice, and he put a stick in the ground in the city he was in during summer solstice when there's no shadow, and then he went next year to a different city that was like 500 kilometers away or some sort of nonsense and put another stick in the ground and then saw that it cast a long shadow. He measured the shadow. It was like 7 inches or something like that. And then he did his calculations and found that that's like, I don't know, like 1/50th of a circle, 360 degrees. And so if the Earth were flat, then no shadows.
Or is it just a plate with a concave? Or convex?
So it's a...
So, okay, here we go. All right, so the idea of spherical Earth appeared in ancient Greek philosophy with Pythagoras, 6th century BC. That's how long we've known that we've lived on our globe.
That's what I said, a million billion.
You got it. However, the Greek cosmology view of flat Earth persisted among the pre-Socratic and into the early 4th century. Plato wrote about the spherical Earth. It's widely known that
everybody
knew.
Yeah.
Everybody knew.
Yeah, they were going to, I went to public school, but they did teach me that he was looking for a route to India and not trying to get around the flat Earth.
Well, you'd be surprised how many people don't know that today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, knowledge of the Earth's global shape gradually began to spread beyond the Hellenistic world because it was widely agreed in Greece, and then it started pushing out that way. But there were some notable exceptions. In contrast, ancient Chinese scholars consistently described the Earth as flat, and this perception remained unchanged until their encounters with Jesuit missionaries in the 17th century. I thought that was fascinating.
Unchanged only among the Chinamen, or?
Yeah, just among the Chinese.
Can I say Chinaman? Chinese. I guess you can't say Chinaman anymore, huh? Is that wrong? I don't even know.
Someone tell us. I feel like it is.
Yeah, Chinese. Yeah, there we go. Sorry about that. Canceled on episode 2.
Great. So the Chinese just kept with that, and we're going to talk a little bit more about why that was. And then Muslim scholars in the early Islam maintained that Earth was flat. However, since the 9th century, they agreed that it was round.
Mm-hmm.
So...
do you know what changed?
Yeah.
Not Jesuit priests there.
No. We'll talk about that too.
Okay.
I'm just giving a slight little overview now. So, in its historical myth that medieval Europeans generally thought the Earth was flat, This myth was created by the 17th century Protestants to argue against Catholic teachings and gain currency in the 19th century.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where that started, which is super interesting, I thought. I was like, oh.
Religion strikes again.
Right. So despite the scientific facts and obvious effects of Earth's sphericity, is it sphericity? Sphericity? See, this is the part.
I don't know. I've never heard anybody say sphericity. But
Sphericity?
I don't know that. Yeah, sure.
Okay. All
It's
right.
good to me.
Pseudoscientific flat Earth conspiracy theories persist. Since the 2010s, belief in flat Earth has increased, both as membership of modern flat Earth societies and as unaffiliated individuals using social media proclaim.
I love it.
So in 2018, a study reported by the Scientific American, only 82% of 18 to 24-year-old Americans respondents agreed with the statement, "I have always believed the Earth is round."
Mm-hmm.
However, a firm belief that the Earth is flat is rare, with less than 2% acceptance in all age groups.
All right. So what shape do the rest of the 10 whatever percent? I forgot your first number. 80 something.
82?
Yeah, 82 and then another 2.
2%.
So, yeah.
I think the other
What's
one.
the other 16? It's a trapezoid.
Actually, there are different shapes.
It's a dodecahedron.
They can't say that. No, they're not. No, even know what a dodecahedron is. 12-sided thing? No. In early Egyptian and Mesopotamian thought, the world was portrayed as a disk floating on the ocean. A similar model is found in the Homeric account from the 8th century BC, in which these words, okeanos. I'm terrible with Greek.
Yeah, Okeanos.
Okeanos, the personified body of water surrounding the circular surface of the earth, is the begetter of all life and possibly of all gods.
There's a couple of different origin theories that are like that, like the whole turtle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they don't quite talk about the turtle in some of these. I didn't go that deep. But the pyramid texts and the coffin texts of ancient Egypt showed a similar cosmography. The Nun, N-U-N, the ocean encircled the Nubit, or the dry lands or islands.
Okay.
N-B-W-T. Nubit.
Sounds good to me.
Right. When I was going through this, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to say half of these things. All right. The Israelites also imagined the earth to be a disk floating on water with an arched firmament above it that separated the earth from the heavens. The sky was a solid dome with sun, moon, planets, and stars embedded in it. And the poets, the Greek poets, both Homer and Hesiod, described a disk cosmography on the shield of Achilles. The poetic tradition of the earth encircling sea and a disk also appears in the Stasinus of Cyprus, the Mnemoris, and the Aeschylus, and also the Apollonius Rhodius. Right? Do you see what I mean about these?
Yeah.
I'm terrible with this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Homer's description of the disk cosmography on the shield of Achilles with the encircling ocean is repeated far later in the Quintus Smyrnius Postumerica.
Oh, that old chestnut.
The Quintus Smyrnius Postumerica, 4th century AD, which continues the narration of the Trojan War and talks about flat.
Okay.
There were several pre-Socratic philosophers that believed the earth was flat. Thales, according to several sources, and Leucippus and Democritus, according to Aristotle, all thought the earth was flat.
Nice.
Thought that they were dum-dums.
Well, apart from the flat earth thing, Leucippus sounds like she might be interesting.
Leucippus might be quite interesting.
Yeah, moving on.
Okay. Thales thought that the earth floated in water like a log. So instead of being a flat disk, it was a log, which I thought was cool. It's been argued, however, that Thales actually believed in spherical earth. There's a whole bunch of people that go in and do research on what people believed, and some of the translations lead to not quite concrete ideas about what they actually thought.
Okay.
So another Greek philosopher, Xenophanes, thought that the earth was flat with its upper side touching the air and the lower side extending without limit. So that seems like a
cylinder.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like it's flat at all.
No.
Not flat on the top, I guess.
Yeah. So, and then belief in the flat earth continued into the 5th century BC. Anaxagoras agreed the earth was flat, and his pupil Archelaus believed that the flat earth was depressed in the middle like a saucer to allow for the fact that the sun does not rise and set at the same time for everyone. So everyone, like a lot of these older flat earth ideas, they change them like into saucers or convex or concaves because of those observations, which I thought was interesting. Hicatius and Miletus believed that the earth was flat and surrounded by water. Herodotus in his histories ridiculed the belief that water encircled the world, yet most classicists agree that he still believed the earth was flat because of his descriptions of literal ends or edges of the earth. He just thought it was silly that it was surrounded by water.
Yeah. What a ridiculous idea.
I love this particular history about the Northern Europe is very interesting to me. The ancient Norse and Germanic peoples believed that flat earth cosmography with the earth surrounded by ocean and the axis mundi, or a world tree or pillar in the center.
Yeah.
I thought that was
the Jormundir or whatever.
The Yggdrasil or
Yggdrasil, that's
Yggdrasil,
it.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
In the world encircling ocean sat a snake called
Jormungandr.
Thank you, say it again.
Jormungandr.
Jormungandr. The Norse creation account preserved the Glophaning states. Sure. That during the creation of the earth, an impassable sea was placed around it. Okay. The late Norse Kunigus Skugja, on the other hand, explained Earth's shape was sphere. And his reasoning was, if you take a lighted candle and set it in a room, you may expect it to light up the entire interior, unless something should hinder, though the room be quite large. But if you take an apple and hang it close to the flames so near that it is heated, the apple will darken nearly half of the room, or even more. However, if you hang the apple near the wall, it will not get hot. The candle will light up the whole house, and the shadow on the wall where the apple hangs will be scarcely half as large as the apple itself. From this you may infer that the earth's circle is round like a ball and not equally near the sun at every point. But where the curved surface lies nearest the sun's path, there will be the greatest heat be, and some of the lands that lie continuously under the unbroken rays cannot be inhabited. Which turns out not to be true, but at least he was thinking critically.
Trying
to. In ancient China, the prevailing belief that Earth was flat and square. So here's more of the different shapes.
Oh, that's good, because I was wondering when I was talking about a trapezoid, how come all the flat Earths are generally all these flat discs? How come they're never... I like that it's a square. Good on you, Chinese.
Well, so in my mind, I thought if the Earth is a square and you point...
Wait, is it a square or a cube?
Okay, hang on.
Anyway, if you point...
If you go outside and you point, and then you turn around, you make a whole circle because there's no, like, edge that you can point to that's a square. So I think that's why most flat Earth people are like, it's a circle but flat.
Okay.
That would be what I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
But in ancient China, they thought it was square, while the heavens were round, though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. An assumption virtually unquestioned until the introduction of European astronomy in the 17th century. The English sinologist Cullen... Is that someone who likes sine waves? Like, what's a sinologist?
I'm not sure. What is a sinologist?
Right? Okay. The English sinologist Cullen emphasizes that the point that there was no concept of round Earth in ancient Chinese astronomy. Chinese thought that the form of the Earth remained almost unchanged from the early times until the first contacts with modern science through the medium of Jesuit missionaries in the 17th century, which I've already said. Sorry for repeating myself. While the heavens were variously described as being like an umbrella covering the Earth, the Kai-Tian theory, or like a sphere surrounded it, the Hun-Tian theory, or as being without substance while heavenly bodies float freely, the Husun-Yi theory. The Earth was at all times flat, although perhaps bulging up slightly.
Must have been excited. It's happy to see him. It's happy to see Luce Mary, or whatever the hell that lady's name was.
Loose Puss?
Yeah, Lucy Puss.
Lucy Puss.
There you go.
He was Greek.
Yeah. He, she. I don't think they cared too often.
There's some talk about how this English guy Needham tried to argue, saying that the Chinese really did think that the Earth was spherical, but There's no documented evidence to support this. He was just saying that the one of the Chinese writers explained that the Earth is like an egg, which sounds like a sphere, but what he was trying to describe was the surrounding of the heavens while the Earth was flat beneath it.
Okay.
It was like the flat yolk inside the egg. And
kind of like the hollow Earth theory, where there's like multiple different shells inside other shells and everything with a sun in the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll talk about that another time.
Yeah. So actually, we're going to sort of go into it right now. Alternate or mixed theories. Yeah. For further information, Spherical Earth and History of Geodesy is a great book to get into for this stuff. So although Mesopotamian cosmology is usually depicted as flat disk of land floating in water, some texts describe a complex structure composed of vertical layers, like you were just talking about. For instance, KAR 307, K-A-R 307, a cuneiform text depicts 3 layered earths. The upper earth is the land inhabited by mankind. The middle earth are subterranean Apsu waters ruled by Enki.
Yeah.
And the lower earth is the underworld, which has 600 Anunnaki.
I remember some of this.
Right? Yeah, I remember Anunnaki, but I don't remember why.
I don't know about that. I'm just saying I remember some of the hollow Earth theories.
While none of the ancient Mesopotamian models were spherical, Professor Wayne Horowitz documents significant variety in different Mesopotamian cosmology texts, noting disagreement between texts from different periods of different genres, and even among texts from the same period and genre. And then in Greece, Pythagoras, this is where, Pythagoras in 600 BC and Parmenides. God, see me? I cannot do Greek. Parmenides in the 5th century BC stated that the Earth is spherical, and this view spread rapidly around, by 330 BC. Aristotle maintained on the basis of physical theory and observational evidence that the Earth was spherical and reported an estimate of its circumference. And the Earth's circumference was first determined around 240 BC by
Eratosthenes.
That's the guy. That's the guy you were talking about.
Yeah, he's the one who put the sticks in.
Yep.
And he got, I can't remember his units of measurement. They're not ones we use now, but it was like...
It's liar or something.
No, it was something else. It was an S word. And it's like, he thought it was 250,000 of whatever this measurement was, which was like, it was astoundingly close to the actual correct number.
The actual number, I have it, and I have the unit used too. So in South Asia, the Vedic texts depict the cosmos in many ways. Vedic.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. One of the earliest Indian cosmological texts pictures the Earth as one of the stacked flat disks. So another stack thing. In the Vedic text, Dayus and Prithvi, heaven and earth, are compared to wheels on an axle yielding a flat model. They are also described as bowls or leather bags yielding a concave model. According to MacDonald, the conception of the Earth being a disk surrounded by an ocean does not appear in this Samhitas. But it was naturally regarded as circular, being compared with a wheel, and expressly called circular or pyramidala, and in the Shatapatha. What is this book?
The Shatapatha Brahmana.
Brahmana, thank you.
Yeah. So the Brahmins were like were old Vedic, like learned people.
Okay. So they believe in like this two-wheeled, like two-axle flat earth thing.
All right.
So that's interesting. I thought that was, I haven't heard that one before. The medieval Indian text called Puranas described the Earth as a flat-bottomed circular disk with concentric oceans and continents. This general scheme is present not only in the Hindu cosmologies, but also in the Buddhist and Jain.
That looks like Jain.
Jain cosmologies of South Asia. However, some Puranas include other models. For example, the 5th canto of the Bhagavata Purana, composed between 500 CE and 1000 CE, includes sections that describe the Earth both as flat and spherical. So,
sounds like they couldn't make their mind up.
The same kind of for the Greeks, because a lot of them, most everybody thought it was spherical, and then there were some that were just like, nah.
Yeah, well, there's always some people that can't do math.
That's true.
So,
All right. So early Christian church. During the early period of the Christian church, the spherical view continued to be widely held, with some notable exceptions. Until the mid-4th century AD, virtually all Christian authors held that the earth was round. Athenagoras, an Eastern Christian writing around the year 175 AD, said that the earth was spherical. Methodius, 290 AD, an Eastern Christian writing against the theory of the Chaldeans and the Egyptians. Are they Chaldeans or Chaldeans?
yeah, it looks like Chaldeans.
Chaldeans? Chaldeans?
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. Said, let us first lay bare the theory of the Chaldeans and the Egyptians. They say that the circumference of the universe is likened to the turnings of a well-rounded globe, the earth being central point. They say that since its outline is spherical, the earth should be the center of the universe, around which the heaven is whirling. Arnobius, another Eastern Christian writing sometime around 305 AD, described the round earth. In the first place, indeed, the world itself is neither right nor left. It has neither upper nor lower regions, nor front nor back. For whatever is round and bounded on every side by the circumference of the solid sphere has no beginning or end. So, this is all well known throughout Christian history that the earth was round. Other advocates of the round earth included Eusebius, Hilary of Poitiers, Irenaeus, Hippolytus of Rome, Firmicus Maternus, Ambrose, Jerome, Prudentius, Favonius, Eulogius, and others. Do you know any of these people?
I think I know a Jerome.
I think I know a Jerome somewhere too. And Firmicus, just, that old so-and-so.
Yeah, I haven't seen him since the wedding in 93.
Right. The only exceptions to this consensus up until the mid-4th century were the Theophilus of Antioch and Lactantius?
Sure.
Lactantius, both of which held anti-Hellenistic views and associated the round earth view as pagan cosmology. It's devil worship. Round earth.
Well, no, the pagans didn't worship the devil. The pagans worship multiple gods, not Satan. Devil worship that would be like a Christian thing.
Sure, huh?
Yeah. Or I don't know what Bismillah or whatever religion you are, but the pagans weren't worshiping the devil. They were worshiping nature and multiple nature gods. But I guess that'd be heresy, and they would.
That's the devil.
Would just say that's the devil.
Right. I mean, that was what I was told my whole life. Anything that wasn't Christian was the devil.
Yeah, that's what they all do now.
Right. Lactantius, a Western Christian writer and advisor to the first Christian Roman emperor, Constantine, writing sometime between 304 and 313 AD, ridiculed the notion of Antipodes.
Antipodes.
I actually looked up how to say this, and it said Antipodes.
Okay.
Right. I think it's Antipodes, though. I think you're right. And the philosophers who fancied that the universe is round like a ball. They also thought the heaven revolves in accordance with the motion of the heavenly bodies. For that reason, they constructed brass globes as though after the figure of the universe. Because St. Augustine also is like, no, it's round. While all that remained a minority view of the flat earth, from the mid-4th to 7th centuries AD, the flat earth view experienced a revival. Around the time when Diodorus of Tarsus founded the exegetical school known as the School of Antioch, which sought to counter what he saw as the pagan cosmology of the Greeks, with return to the traditional cosmology. The writings of Diodorus did not survive, but are reconstructed from later criticism. I don't know what that means. How can they not survive, but then you reconstruct them?
Maybe they can reconstruct them from things that other people wrote about, but his own personal writings didn't survive. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
So this revival primarily took place in the East Syriac world, with little influence on the Latin West, where it gained proponents such as Ephraim the Syrian, and in the popular hexameral homilies of Jacob the Syrogue. One of the great church fathers of the Eastern Church of Archbishop of Constantinople explicitly espoused the idea, based on scripture, that the earth floats miraculously on the water beneath the firmament. So Christian topography by the Alexandrian monk Cosmas. He should have known. How would you say that? Indicopleustus?
Looks right. I'd say Indicopleustes.
Indicopleustes, who had traveled as far as Sri Lanka, and the source of the Blue Nile is now widely considered the most valuable geographical document of the early medieval age, although it received relatively little attention from the contemporaries. In it, the author repeatedly expounds the doctrine that the universe consists of only two places, the earth below the firmament and the heaven above it. Carefully drawing an argument from the scripture, he describes the earth as a rectangle. Here's another shape. 400 days journey long, 200 days journey wide, surrounded by 4 oceans and enclosed by 4 massive walls which support the firmament.
200 days journey on what? Your feet? A boat? A camel?
Don't know. These are good questions.
All right. Carry on.
Probably not a boat. Because
he said surrounded by 4 seas.
But the earth itself you traverse.
All right.
The rectangle.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, and so he dismissed the spherical earth theory as contemptuously pagan. Whoa. Severin, Bishop of Gabala, wrote that the earth is flat and the sun does not pass under it in the night, but travels through the northern parts as hidden by a wall. Basil of Caesarea argued that the matter was theologically irrelevant. Who cares? Don't need to know if the earth's flat.
Well, I guess not for theology.
I mean, probably not.
Yeah, well, God made it, right? If dang old God made it, then it don't matter.
That's true. There's a whole bunch more of Christian writing. There's a lot. There's the De Natura Rerum about all of this. And if anybody really wants to get into it, we can talk more about it, but there's a lot of information. Saint Virgilius of Salzburg also had some thoughts on this during the 700s and middle of the 8th century.
I think he made steaks too.
Virgilius of Salzburg?
Salisbury steaks? Salzburg steaks?
Salzburg.
All right.
I think Salisbury is in England.
Is it? I don't actually know.
I don't either. I'm guessing.
Making stupid dad jokes.
Okay. Yeah, so there's a whole, I could go on and on and on and on and on and on. But we're going to get into what's going on now. So we can just already say that round Earth was a thing. Yeah,
they all knew that stuff. You would have difficulty navigating in a boat if you thought the Earth was flat, I think.
Yeah.
At least for any appreciable distance, anyway.
For sure.
Like all the triremes and all the all the boats and stuff that hugged the coast, that probably wouldn't have been a problem for. But if you're trying to navigate out into the open ocean, and you travel in a straight line, you're not going to end up where you think you were going.
That's true.
So.
Yeah. So, in the 17th century, a historical myth was created that asserted that the predominant cosmological doctrine during the Middle Ages was that the Earth was flat. The myth gained currency in the 19th century. An early proponent of this myth was the American writer Washington Irving. Can you believe that? Who maintained that Christopher Columbus had to overcome the opposition of churchmen to gain sponsorship for his voyage of exploration. Later, significant advocates of this view were John William Draper and Andrew Dickinson White, who used it as a major element in their advocacy of the thesis that there was a long-lasting and essential conflict between science and religion.
Yeah, well, I don't listen to any men who are named Dickinson. So.
How did you get that name, sir? Some studies of the historical connections between science and religion have demonstrated that theories of their mutual antagonism ignore examples of their mutual support. Subsequent studies of the medieval science have shown that most scholars of the Middle Ages, including those read by Christopher Columbus, maintain that the Earth was spherical. Yeah. So, what's going on? Why are we back to believing that the Earth's flat? In the modern era, the pseudoscientific belief in the flat Earth originated from the English writer Samuel Rowbotham in the 1849 pamphlet Zetetic Astronomy.
Great work, dickhead. Now look what you did.
Look what you did, you little jerk.
Yeah. Fucking guy.
Lady Elizabeth Blount established the Universal Zetetic Society in 1893, which published journals. And then, fast forward just a little bit, in 1956, Samuel Shenton set up the International Flat Earth Research Society.
Yeah.
Better known as the Flat Earth Society. In Dover, England.
Do they just call it the Flat Earth Society instead because there wasn't any actual research?
Probably.
I feel like that answer's yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the fact that the Flat Earth Society is in Dover, England is kind of wild. Have you been to Dover?
No, I never went to England.
Oh, okay. Dover.
I mean, I did. I went to their airfield once and got robbed. Somebody skimmed my phone, and stole $4,000. Yeah, that was wild.
Anyway.
I don't like England.
Yeah, no. So, everyone in Dover, I guess, is a direct descendant of this guy in the Universal Zetetic Society. That's where this all founded. And
you're saying all the citizens of Dover are directed?
No.
That's a lot of inbreeding.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Like, no wonder their teeth are like that.
Wow. That is the only place, Dover, England's the only place that had a problem speaking English. I could not understand their accent at all. And they were missing teeth.
Yeah.
It was definitely a weird place. But yeah, so all this new flat Earth stuff comes from the Universal Zetetic Society. And now in the internet
Just over there on the line.
In the internet area, the availability of communications technologies and social media, YouTube, Facebook, all that stuff, spread it like wildfire.
Yeah, well, like the dumber you are, the louder you scream, right? And if you give people megaphones,
that's true.
The idiots are going to scream more often, louder to more people.
It's true. All right, so what is this zetetic crap? What is this? What is it? Okay, zetetic astronomy. Zetetic doesn't mean guessing. It means investigating through direct observation.
Investing?
Investigating.
Oh, you said investing.
I meant investigating.
Okay.
Sorry. Rowbotham's argument was simple. Don't trust abstract science. Don't trust math. Don't trust distant measurements. Trust what you can see.
But there's things like magicians and stuff that could make things like my grandpa pulled a quarter from behind my ear that to this day I'm about 99% sure wasn't actually behind my ear. I can't say, I guess, because according to this guy I wasn't able to see back there, but pretty sure he got that. It said like property of the U.S. Mint on it, like it came from Denver.
Not the back of your ear.
Not my ear, so, anyway.
Well, I kind of, a small way, appreciate it a little bit.
I guess seeing something doesn't make it what you think it is.
That's true. And I think if they did more research, so the Zetetics, that is, they would find that your brain's interpreting what you see. So you're not even actually seeing anything anyway.
Yeah, sure. But this is moving into, an entirely different conversation of like subjective reality. And
that's true. But he performed experiments. You want to hear about them?
Yeah.
I don't understand where the conclusion comes, so maybe you can help me.
I feel like he probably didn't either. Throwing that out there.
Most famously, along a long straight canal in England, where he claimed that over several miles the water showed no curvature. Therefore, the Earth must be flat.
Cool.
Right.
Great work, dude. How come why does it happen that when I put water in a circular glass, why isn't the water circular?
Well, it is, though.
But it's flat on the top. It's not.
I think he meant like the canal.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Oh. But
Yeah.
I still don't understand how that makes the Earth not flat.
But he's saying that the water is flat instead of, which of course it is because it seeks equilibrium, but
Oh, the surface of the water.
yeah, it's
not
flat.
the bend of the canal.
Right.
Oh.
I think.
Well, who knows what he's thinking? Because I didn't get it. I was like, well, you can dig a straight line, right? It's a canal.
I can dig it.
Right. All right. In his book, Rowbotham expanded his ideas from his 1849 pamphlet Zetetic Astronomy and proposed that Earth is a flat disk centered at the North Pole and bounded along its southern edge by a wall of ice. Antarctica, naturally.
Yeah, that's what they say now.
Yeah, exactly. This is where it all comes from. Rowbotham further held that the sun and the moon were 3,000 miles above Earth, about 4,800 kilometers if you do real math. And that the cosmos was 3,100 miles or 5,000 kilometers above Earth.
Okay.
Seems pretty close.
Yeah.
It seems a little...
I think that's what's called the danger zone for the sun. I think that's a scientific term.
Yeah.
I once had a kid, this is kind of an offshoot, not exactly related, but I was in my space class and this was in college, and there was a kid who was asking about solar eclipses, but not the solar eclipses that we think of. The solar eclipses where the sun moves between the Earth and the moon. And so he was asking, what are these called?
Certain death?
Yeah. Doom?
Armageddon?
Yeah, I think so.
Fire? Brimstone?
It's basically what the teacher said.
Nice. And what did the kid say?
Oh.
Oh. All right. Well, this guy apparently made sense to other people because he gained followers. They formed organizations, published journals, and continued promoting Zetetic astronomy well into the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Eventually, this evolved into what we know as the Flat Earth Society today, and their core ideas have found a new home. So modern flat earthers still lean heavily on that same Zetetic mindset: trust your senses, don't trust institutions, question everything. But what they fail to do is explain away satellites, GPS, global travel, time zones, gravity, and basically all modern physics.
Sure. Well, like a lot of those things that's back to the hollow Earth stuff too. Like a lot of those things are the same problems. Like if the Earth is hollow, where are we getting our electromagnetic field, and how are we experiencing the level of gravity that we're having? And if the Earth is flat, then why do we need more than one satellite? And why would things be in orbit rather than geosynchronous orbit?
Exactly.
Lots of questions there.
I have lots of questions too. For example, line of sight communication would be so much easier if it was flat.
Sure.
Like cell signal, we wouldn't have to climb to the top of a tower.
No, probably not. I mean, maybe you've got mountains and things that are on the ground, but
satellite communication, you're right, would be way easier.
Yeah, you'd only need, one.
I mean,
for whatever your purpose was, if this was your internet satellite or your cell phone satellite or whatever, I don't need to beam your signal from the ground to anywhere else on the other side of the Earth. I don't need to do any beyond line of sight issues.
Yeah. So I saw one YouTube video where, and this guy was I think he was a sports guy. I don't know. He was a famous person, but I don't follow sports, so I don't know who he was. And he's a flat earther.
Nice.
And he was explaining, look at me. I'm on an airplane. We're going down for landing. We are not pitching forward.
That's not what you do when you're landing.
Right.
I happen to be a pilot.
So let's explain this to this poor kid who is thinking you need to pitch forward to land an airplane.
No, if you pitch forward, you will increase your airspeed and you will fly straight into the ground. Rather than that, you reduce your airspeed by throttle. You pitch your nose up so that the wheels go down and the nose is not pointed towards the earth. And you let induced drag and reduced throttle slowly bring you back down on what's called a glide slope to the runway. And if you fail that, you die. Well, sometimes.
Sometimes.
If you're unlucky, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't point towards, you could point. You'll land, I guess.
It just won't.
It won't be the kind you like.
Survivable landing, usually. And so, and to those people who also brought that up, I would like just to point out, look at how birds land.
Sure.
They don't go in for landing face down.
No.
They slow themselves.
With their wings.
Their wings.
And then they flap a couple of times to slow themselves so they flare out once they get in kind of ground effect or whatever, if they're landing on the ground.
Yeah, or a tree or whatever.
Yeah. And they slow themselves down. And all of this is not to mention the fact that if you are in an aircraft and you can't see outside and you have no frame of reference, you're disoriented anyway. That's why pilots have to do things.
Upset training.
Upset training is for the people that don't know, is they put these things called foggles on your eyes and you can't see outside, so you have no frame of reference for anything, and you have to use your instruments and look at an instrument called an artificial horizon. And they will put these on and your flight instructor will spin the plane around and you'll be spinning and it'll be crazy. And you, due to your physiology, your body has no idea which direction you're actually going. So these people that are in that aircraft can't really tell whether they're going up or down anyway.
Yeah.
So that's silly.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I saw that, I was like, oh no, let me explain. Oh no. And then also, have they not just looked out the window? You could see the curvature of the earth. But I guess that maybe it's just bulging.
Sure. Maybe if you're high enough, but you can't always see that.
Not always, but
yeah.
I guess I travel a lot, so it's different.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a silly idea. And it would beg the question why people don't fly in a straight line. And if you go to the website, FlightAware, you can look up basically all of the reported flights that are happening on the planet at any given time. And you'll notice a large deal of them do things like leave from, we'll just call it Dulles. They'll leave from Washington, D.C., and rather than fly in a straight line to somewhere, they'll fly north over the poles because it's a sphere and that's a shorter distance. Mm-hmm. And fuel is heavy and it costs money. And so the idea that any of these companies are going to spend more money than they have to, I don't know if you've ever seen a company do that, but they don't.
They don't.
At least not the ones that work. They do not do that. So basic economics should be able to tell you don't even have to do anything other than understand that companies are greedy.
Well, hang on. Haven't you heard that once the airplanes get up in the atmosphere, they don't need fuel anymore. They can use the free energy up there. You haven't heard that one?
No, I've been flying a long time. In my experience, when your fuel runs out, you
can't use the energy from the atmosphere?
You can't use the free atmospheric energy. Instead, you do this thing called crash.
Oh. Wow.
I did see one time on CNN, on television, and I took a picture of this thing. I've got it somewhere. But it was a news alert, and it had this big, bright red ticker tape at the bottom of the news alert, and it was like, oh my God, breaking news. When the 777 runs out of fuel, it has trouble staying aloft. I swear to God, you could probably Google this. There's no way I'm the only one that laughed at this, and it was on national television. Yeah.
You know, when my head's separated from my body, I have a hard time coordinating.
It's the damnedest thing.
Damnedest thing. It's really weird. Huh. That's hilarious. Well, I think we know. We think we know which way we've landed on this one, but next week we've got more to get into about zetetic astronomy and the salt mines of Romania.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay.
So,
I like this. I'm excited for that. That's one of my favorite Like
Yeah.
I said in the beginning, that's how this whole thing all
That
started.
is how this whole thing started.
Goody gumdrops.
All right. Well, in the meantime, stay curious because
The truth is out there.